Hey friends, so I like to call this the tale of two stars. The reason why I call this the tale of two stars is because it's just that. Um, I was in-depth channeling with um, Ascending Angel 1111 is her YouTube channel. Hey girl, that's my BFF. And so we channel by conversation. Conversation opens these um, doorways of understanding the narrative and seeing things from the full retrospective of what's actually happening. So we're going to start with I really don't like to show these images, but I really want to update the people who follow. You see, you hear my horns, even at home. Confirmation. All right, so if you're new to the channel, horns honking and fire alarms or sirens are my affirmations. So, all right, here's this star, you guys. Ugh. Star number one. I know, I'm sorry, you guys, but so we see this symbol here, right? And now if we shift a little bit, the center of it there, they call it the cube of Saturn, right? Saturn, Satan. Okay, we get it, right? But then you have one, two, three, you have five sides. So that will be star number one. You guys know what star number two is, right? Star number two. And star number two, as you can see, has six sides. One, two, three, four, five, six. It is the pentagram versus the hexagram. I'm not saying the two are related. I'm just saying the two have the code of Solomon encoded and all that jazz. You guys know the as above, so below, one up and one down. So if we look at pentagram or pentagon, this will tell you who runs the world. It's the capital of the United States. I'm laughing because how many times have we all known this, but then it's like now it makes perfect sense. Who runs the world? So the Pentagon gave its blessing to Jerusalem recently because of a particular man who sits in the White House. The powers are shifting and changing. This is why you have Democrats very pissed off right now. I'm not even talking about the characters, whether you like the presidents. I don't care. It's really about the two sides of Abraham. Abraham had two bloodlines. He had Sarah, the old wife who had a baby at old age, and then you had Hagar, who was the concubine wife, right? And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, that's 7. Which one is the right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. So we're looking at the hexagon versus the pentagram. So that tells you through symbols and coding. There we see the cube of Saturn there too, don't you? But anyways. So when we think about the two stars, there was it Horus and Set, right? It's the same story. Father, brother. I'm trying to put all this together, but you guys kind of get where I'm going. The two brothers, Anubis and Thoth, they get in the way. But it was the knowledge of the sacred teachings of Thoth or Thoth, the anteater head, and Osiris, the bird, the eagle. So this is why in America, we want to feel comfortable that our mascot is an eagle, right? Because it's eagle versus serpent at this point, right? Ooh, they were lovers. See, there goes my confirmation. Looks like there was betrayal somewhere. Somewhere there was a betrayal. And then it was Osiris and Ra, right? The weird thing about it, what transpired, let's just go to another topic. I would say Da Vinci Man. There we go. So here's what I uncovered, me being who I am. I looked at, hey, I don't know if I'm allowed to show the parts of that. But if you look here in the face, Da Vinci actually shows one eye white and one eye black. I don't think anyone caught on to that. This is the code of Horus. The eye of Horus has the sun and the moon, right? But there was all these different symmetrical shapes within this man's body, right? And without revealing too much of his zip code here, yeah. If I were to cover, there we go. So let's say that this whole shape here, right, that you see, the arms and whatnot, it reminded me of this one shape. The Merkaba, which is a prism. So it's not two-dimensional, so you guys know your background of this stuff. And this was a huge thing that I channeled because when you have the 2D version of it, let's say the 2D, you fall into religion. When you expand that to the prism, which is, I don't know, what was it, prism, 16 sides? I'll ask to Google that in a second. But if you make that into a third dimensional shape, it expands outside of that. So now we're taking the codes and we're going outside of the veil, for instance. So if you look down below, you see how there's the 7-sided hexagram. Isn't that what it's called? And that is 2D on the ground, but then it's in 3D expanded up here. So you guys should see that it's surrounding the person. This is a better example. You can see, well, it looks like it's moving, huh? So the Merkaba, it's the same shape as the Da Vinci Man, right? So that's what really sparked the channel message that I had. This is the battle of two stars. And you can see it here. There was a lot of people who used this as an icon. And I got mad at them last year because they tried to indoctrinate Orion into this triangle and the star. And I said, as long as you leave the star alone, the triangle represents a Trinity or the Holy Spirit. But when you add the star, now you're trying to hijack the Trinity. You're trying to use the mysticisms for wrongdoings because that's a satanic star if you turn it to the side, like the first example that I had. But then it's the Star of David when you upright it. So this is all that's what's going on when we say the war in heaven. Here, if you see, look, there's a Fibonacci, the spiral up, spiral down. Coincidentally, there's a gardener outside. Really, dude? So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Oh, I love this image. I want to share that to everybody that that's pretty much all that's going on. As long as you don't cut my pants. All right. You know how we old school folks say the devil is a lie. I will continue this message and I will complete this message. But anyways, I wanted to share that with everybody. That was the latest download that I got. And some of you are new to my stones. I have a rose quartz. So rose quartz is awesome. Oh, there's one more symbolism I wanted to share with everybody. But I actually wanted to remind everybody, we don't really know what's going on, but the salt lamps, or even just having the salt crystal, the Himalayan salt crystal, I took mine out because the light bulb was tripping, as you guys saw. But what's weird is these, I don't know, this one's actually decalcifying, like it's melting, which is fascinating. Even my rose quartz I had in a different area and it was like melting. So anybody know what's up with that? What makes the rocks sweat? But it does help dehumidify the air, and it eliminates a lot of these, sorry for lack of words, it just eliminates all the crap in the air. It really helps you, keeps your respiratory at a regulated temperature. That way you don't freeze or overheat. I also burn sage and Palo Santo every like 2 to 3 hours, and it works with like I'm creating a resin in my home so that when I go outside, whatever's out there, I don't know what's going on out there. We really don't know the truth. Bill Gates. And then when I come back home, my body purges whatever I bring in. So I actually feel a lot better. So I'm gonna share that with everybody. Another thing too, where did you go? I don't want you guys to think that I'm part of a group, because I will say that I'm not. But I found this the other day, and I want you guys to look at something. So we have the triangle, right? But then you have the beams of light coming out of the eye, which is very different than the Illuminati eye that we always see, right? What's fascinating, why I knew this was legit, was because you have the two fish on each side here. And you know, like in Christianity, the symbol of the fish, is it the base? So that's why I was like, and the colors are interesting. Red and green and black is Africa. So I knew that this was legit. I found it on the ground, but it looks like a ship, right? You see all the circles in the middle there? It's a ship coming out of the sun, and it's heading to either the earth, or it's coming from the, I don't know. You guys can see the image when I'm explaining it. It's something coming from the sun. And so, Ascending Angel 1111, she gave me this as the affirmation. I think, yes. She was like, look, Aaron, boom. You see that? It's the circles in the middle, this interesting eye, and you have the triangle. So what's fascinating is if you have the Illuminati or the Cabal, replicating the image but leaving out certain symbols, you'll see that what they're doing is trying to trick us to not utilize the mysticisms. It's kind of like trying to make us feel like, oh, that's evil. We can't wear triangles and pyramids and you know, it blocks us from accessing the mystery school stuff, the hidden knowledge, the secrets of King Solomon. I got the beams of light to back me up. That's my right shoulder too. Interesting. Anyways, let's go back to Commander Ashtar. Because I think that's really fascinating how I think you guys know what's going on. So if I were to put these two, you see that there's a very interesting similarity of the two. So especially when you look at it looks like a eyelash on top of the pupil, and then you see the eyelash on top of the pupil. But it was really this image here with the dots in the middle that matched the dots in the middle here. If you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So I don't want to say anything else because there's one more link that I had, but I don't want to put it out on YouTube just quite yet because it's I guess it just needs to stay until it's time. But I feel good about this stay-at-home order now. I feel like if there is a alleged space alien invasion, I guess that's what's kind of indoctrinating itself soon, because we're supposed to stay away from the ocean and the coast. And I think if there's plasma interacting with the sulfur from the ground, because we have a lot of ground activity, volcanic activity, the two exchange could really disrupt the immune system and respiratory. And I guess this shift or these DNA changes that they want to make sure it progresses nice and it nurtures very slowly. If it goes too fast, we'll all self-explode. Look at on my TV. That came out of nowhere. Exactly what I'm talking about. Whoa. Who would have thought that would pop up on my TV like that? All right, you guys. So that's enough. Oh, look. Another symbolism. Oh, went away. Anyways. To be continued, guys. To be continued.